Okay, we'll move on to the minutes. We'll have the, if you need to go with minutes, you can, or we'll approve the minutes and the reports after we hear the reports. I'll move on to the reports. James, you want to do the report? And I think maybe we got some other here.
Yeah. For the month of March, we had 273 complaints, 5 accidents, 11 offense reports, 14 citations, 9 animal complaints, 5 code enforcement, 3 arrests. We logged 3,009 miles. Also attached to that list will be or to that report will be a list of surplus equipment that I'm needing to get rid of. It's none of it's unusable or has any value. I just need to clear it out and get permission to destroy it.
Okay.
Okay, yes, also I'd like to continue to stay with the drug task force. I brought a mutual aid agreement to sign up with them still. We'll be continuing what we've done the last couple of years. I just need board approval for that so we can get it signed.
Okay.
Do we need to do that now?
Yeah, well, yes. In other words, for you to continue with the.
Yeah, our department will continue
With the drug.
with task force, yeah.
Task force.
I need a motion and second on that, Joe.
Yes, you've got to authorize the mayor to execute the agreement.
Okay. I'll make that motion.
Okay. Got a motion and a second. Everybody in favor of this task force, do so by saying aye. Okay. And the list, we need to vote on giving James permission to destroy that, right? Okay. So I need a motion and a
I'll
second.
make that motion.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second to destroy these surplus items. Everybody in favor of doing that, do so by saying aye. Okay, that's taken care of. Now, back to, fire department. Let's see, they've got a report in here. I don't have anybody here. I'll read their report. Fire department for the month of March 24, 2 structure fires, 2 brush trash fires, 2 smoke investigations, 1 motor vehicle accident, and 1 wildland fire. Department trained a total of 12 hours. And our cascade system compressor has been ordered and is expected to arrive in early June. Okay. So, maintenance, Bob?
Public Works for April 2024 residential garbage was 72.22 ton, commercial was 13.13 ton, brush trucks 13.36 ton, dump trailers 7.96 tons, recycled plastic 730 pounds. Mark's Auto was $185.15 of oil and oil filters, belt for skate mowers, and hose for the brush truck. Entered Metal Fabricators, $120 for Riverfront Park. Boones Creek Outdoors, power was $55.63, new throttle cable for skate mower. Cox tractor was $76.32 for new blades for the skag mower, and Lowe's was $30.09 for paint. I suppose that was for also Riverfront Park.
It was.
Those 2 items with the Henry and Angel Lowe's will be reimbursed by the medical board.
Where do we stand on the track down there?
He was supposed to come last week and he never made it. Tried to contact him today to see where we stand at on it. He is going to fix the track. He's going to have to work us in on it.
You know, I hadn't asked you, the mower that was warped and you had it Ricard, is that working out good?
Yes, sir, it is.
Good.
Doing real good.
Okay, the sewer report is there. If anybody wants to read that, you can. Okay, we'll need a motion to accept the reports and accept the minutes, for March the 11th. So I need a motion and a second to vote on accepting that. If you need to read them, take your time to read them.
I make the motion to accept the minutes as read.
And the report.
And reports.
I'll second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second to accept the minutes and also the reports. So everybody in favor of doing so, do so by saying aye. Okay. All right, we'll move on, no old business, no unfinished business, we'll move to new business. Consider the second reading of ordinance 170, 2024, which is an ordinance to rezone certain property identified as parcel 013.01 on Hawkins County Tax Map 661. Group D from B1 to R1 within the corporate limits of Surgoinsville. It's passed once, this will be the second reading. So I'll need a motion and a second to vote on.
I'll make that motion.
Got a motion from Bob,
I'll second.
second from Tim. Roll call.
And Alderman Bishop,
Yes.
Alderman Collier,
Yes.
Mayor Graham,
Yes.
Alderman Holt,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Dornigan, Alderman Merritt. Yes.
That's passed. Consider the second reading of ordinance number 171, 2024, which is an ordinance to amend the fiscal year 2024 budget. That's budget amendment number 1. So I need a motion and a second to vote on that.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, motion from,
I'll second.
got a motion from Randy, a second from Haley. Another roll call vote.
Alderman Bishop,
Aye.
Alderman Collier,
Aye.
Mayor Graham,
Yes.
Alderman Holt,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Dornigan,
Aye.
Alderman Merritt. Yes.
Okay. Consider the first reading of ordinance 172, 2024, which is an ordinance to adopt the 2021 edition of the International Property Maintenance Code.
And Jim's here to help, to elaborate or answer any
Okay,
questions.
Joe.
Jim.
Oh, okay, Jim, yes, absolutely, go right
All right,
ahead.
very good. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason I proposed this ordinance for Surgoinsville and also for Mount Carmel, as we're now standing up our new website and getting ready to issue notices of violations or violations of the property maintenance code. The software that we have is pretty much nationwide has adopted the International Property Maintenance Code. And this will be congruent with all of the language in that code. So if the town of Surgoinsville is to adopt that, then we can go ahead and issue notices based upon that language as well. That's been adopted, but it's necessary for us to adopt the International Property Maintenance Code so that we can cite violations of that code for property owners in the event of violations of the property maintenance ordinance. So just gives us another tool to utilize for issuing notices.
Okay. So this will just be mainly in the code violation.
Correct.
of it.
It has to deal with property maintenance violations.
Yeah.
Enforceable by you?
By myself, and that'd be enforceable by myself or the code enforcement officer, Chief Haynes.
Acting on complaint only, or are we gonna, how are we gonna?
Well, no, I think James sometimes finds code violations.
If I find code violations, I've issued a couple of 30-day notices in the last couple of weeks. Trying to get ahead of it before it gets out of control this year, like it normally is.
Well, grass is starting to grow,
Yeah.
so that's right. Generally, tall grass becomes an issue this time of year, and with April being here now, we're gonna start seeing those things, try to get ahead of those.
So in other words, we'll be complying with what everybody else is doing.
That's correct. It's pretty much the standard, it is the standard ordinance throughout Tennessee. So it just gives us the ability to cite that code book and those ordinances that are spelled out in there. And like I said, our software that Safe Built has adopted is based upon the adoption of the property maintenance code.
Okay.
So let me ask this, before we get my hornets, and I say this, if our standard and our code is here, and this one is here, we're upgrading, right?
So we are upgrading, there's, property maintenance code is a small document, it's got very broad language in there. But basically it handles all of your interior environment inside both commercial and residential structures, basic property maintenance. It handles everything on the outside of the structure as well, tall grass, maintenance of ponds, swimming pools, all the appurtenant structures as well. And it provides a lot more specific language as to how to get to those items in there as well. So, adopting that, we have it set up as an ordinance manual. And by adopting that by reference, we can cite those individual ordinances as well. So it gives us a lot more teeth, frankly, to get there.
Okay.
So no, there's nothing like drastically changed in what we're doing now, you think, or what?
Not really, no. It's this just gives you ordinance language that we can cite in a notice of violation. So the key to this is that when James or I or Safe Built issues a notice of violation, you're referencing the International Property Maintenance Code standard. And that's already, like I said, that's already built into the software which we've already utilized so that we can issue notices of violation and be consistent with our ordinance. That's really the key.
Okay.
Here, my concern is, I don't want another chicken fiasco, and then us pass this, and then all of a sudden we find out that we're gonna enforce chicken codes and we lied to these people. You know, I don't wanna get caught with that.
For chickens in particular, that's a health ordinance that's not addressed by the property maintenance code. So I can tell you that specifically because I've lived the chicken ordinance dream, and I understand exactly what you're talking about. That is a health department issue, and that is not addressed specifically by the property maintenance code.
Okay, I'm good.
There you go.
Yeah, so really, for you all to get involved anyway, we'd probably have to be the ones to contact you.
Yeah,
It's more like, where James will be seeing them, putting his eyes on things.
right. And that's what we've got, as we're adopting the software, James will have access to that software as well, too, and we'll be able to issue those notices. So this is really it's a case management tool more than anything else. So that's what we need it for.
It'll pretty much store history of complaints, well, I've been there, it'll show what happened, what we've done. It's more or less builds us a database to go off of.
Yep.
Okay. Hey. Need a Okay, need a motion and a second, vote on it.
Oh, yeah, it pretty much just restates Tennessee law. You can't put someone, rent property, even if it was built in the 1700s, that's unsafe.
I'll make a motion adopt.
I'll second.
Motion for Andy, second by Warren, another roll call.
Alderman Bishop,
Aye.
Alderman Collins, Mayor Green,
Yes.
Alderman Hobbs, and Vice Mayor Dornigan, and Alderman Mayor. Yes.
Thank you, Jim. Okay, consider the first reading of ordinance 173, 2024, which is an ordinance to adopt the annual budget for fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024, and ending June 30th, 2025. Okay, this is our budget, and of course, we're gonna work on the budget, and we'll have a second reading, and put it in final shape before we have a second. I need a motion and a second. This is our first reading of our budget for the new year.
I'll make that motion, but we've got some discussion to do before we vote on it.
You mean the second? Second.
No, for
Tonight?
Tonight.
Okay, then the floor is open.
No, you gotta have a motion and a second before you can discuss it.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay, second, Warren. Okay, what we've gone through so far, I think has been fairly successful. If there's something we need to discuss, we can do it now.
Or the tax increase.
Okay, we discussed, let's see, what did we discuss? What we got?
Well, we can discuss several different amounts. I've got a couple of calculations here that I can pass out if you'd like to revisit that conversation. This will show at the bottom, and I know it's very small font, but it will show how much it will increase our revenue by an increase of 10.
How much are we looking at going up?
Well, that's what we have to decide. I think what was yours about 10? What was yours, just 10?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
At the end of,
Got my glasses.
at the end of this year, fiscal year 2024, which will end June 30th, 2024, with the anticipation of getting that loan, we are looking at a change in fund balance of a negative $46,455. Based off of the proposed general fund budget that is in front of you, at the end of the year, you're looking at a change in fund balance of a negative $80,905. And that is being as modest and, I guess, budget tight as I could be throughout the entire general fund.
Well, I don't think we can make that up in a tax increase.
But do know if for some reason the loan that we're anticipating receiving for the $185,000, if that is not received, then that will increase our change in fund balance for fiscal year 2024 by $185,000. So you're looking at $185,000 plus $46,000 is how we would end.
$231,000. Thereabouts. Start talking about it.
Well, I agree with Bob, I think 10's where we need to stay, it's not, yeah, 10% increase.
What do you think? I think 13. I'm looking in between 10 and 15. Okay. That's me, y'all.
Why don't we, if we're gonna do that, why don't we say, go to 110, it'd be 13 cents.
13, well, what is it, 96, what?
96.
96, so it'd be like 13.37, something like that. That would be 125. 13.36.
Or you all want to make it an even tax rate instead of 0.9663,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're wanting to increase it to what?
Yeah. That would be, like I said, 13.37, I think that's what it would be. Somewhere there about. And that would be,
What is it?
I figured right about 51 to.
What comes out to a tax rate of what?
$1.10.
$1.10.
That's what I thought.
That's still 10 cents less than what we get at.
Yes, it is. Sure, it is 120.
Yeah. I know what, we hate to do it, but we've got to do something.
Okay, anybody, any other suggestions, any other comments?
Also within the budget, you may see that I did go ahead and add the two departments that we had discussed in one of our work sessions, which are code enforcement and animal control. There's not a lot of funds there. I think that that's something we'll definitely figure out as we go a bit more. But I was able to go ahead and get that created so that we can get our departments more separated so that we can keep up with spending a bit better.
okay, just remember whatever we decide on, this is the first reading of the budget. So, the process, of course, we'll have a hearing on it for the budget at the next meeting, so. So we'll start, is everybody okay with starting at 13.37?
Well, all that going to 110, and that 13 cents.
So that's 13 even,
No,
It's
it's
13.37.
37, okay, all right.
That brings it to 110.
We'll take it to 110. And that's per, how much money that, 10,000?
Per thousand.
Per thousand,
Yeah.
110 per $1,000.
You get a half spray for 200,000, it's, and 10 it's like $66 more a year.
You know, I hate to do that, but we've not done that for 13, 14 years.
Yeah, well, you know, like was talking, that was at one time, it's 120, so we're still not there. Doing this, we're still not there, we're 10 cents away from that, so.
Just make a comment here, just so you know, from what I understand, there's gonna be a reappraisal year for all property within the next year or two here in Hawkins County. Okay, so you're gonna increase that, but then you're gonna have to decrease your rate again in order to make sure your revenue stays the same, so it's best that you get your revenue up now.
The state takes care of
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the state takes care of it.
Yeah.
And you can't make money off the first year, but you can raise the rate back up, because you can't make it up the
Right,
first
so you
year.
make sure you make it up this year in order to pay for 2 years in a row or whatever. So that's,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody okay with that? We'll proceed on discussing the budget. Is there anything else we need to do? Okay. As of right now, 13.37. We'll be voting on the budget, first reading, in just a few minutes, so, anything else we need to discuss?
Are we gonna vote on the budget as presented, and then you plug the numbers in for that? So
And
that would
increase
be
the
the
revenue.
second, right?
That way the revenue will be reflected on the
Now
fiscal
we're
year.
just passing as presented, and then the next time we would plug the numbers.
Be finalized, yeah. Okay. Okay, any more discussions before I ask for a motion and a second on this budget?
We did move, we did that.
Okay, that's right, well, yeah, we discussed, that's right. Okay, roll call vote, Nate.
Alderman Bishop,
Aye.
Alderman Quayle, Mayor Graham,
Yes.
Alderman Halls, Vice Mayor Dornigan,
No.
Alderman Merritt.
Okay, consider resolution number 149, 2024, which is a resolution to approve the naming of fire station number 1 in honor of Fire Chief Merlis Carpenter. So, we'll need a motion in a second.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Randy, second by Kelly, and we'll do a voice vote on that. Everybody in favor of doing that, say aye. Okay. Very good. That's, Merlis was one of the first, and I'm glad we done it. I think 25 years, I believe, when Merlis Chief was.
Something there about.
I was thinking, close to 30.
Could have been, but he was there a long time. Oh, yeah. Yeah, almost.
Can we maybe at the next meeting invite her here and present her?
Okay, so, sorry, I left that out. Shane is working on getting quotes to have presented at the next work session. So if we wanna do something formal after that and invite her to the next BMA meeting, or if we wanna do something at the fire station, present it, however you.
Can we, maybe do a little certificate and then look, cause I'm a little worried about the quotes that you and Shane just talked about. So we might have, if we might have her at a meeting, present her a little certificate and let her know what we're doing, and then later on, maybe have a, I don't know.
Are we okay with doing that at the next, at the May BMA?
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, nice certificate in front of it.
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely, I think they do.
The plaque that it was outrageous, yeah.
Probably good and wrong or something, that's what it's gonna cost you, but it will stand the weather, it's a problem.
But maybe we'd have to end up getting some type of little plaque to hang inside the station, I don't know.
Okay.
I think they probably will. Okay, consider increasing the rental fee for City Hall basement to $50 per day. That's for anybody has a party or a dinner or whatever downstairs.
Are we still using little school, little house?
Yes.
Senior breakfast. Just senior breakfast and not rent?
No, it's open for party. Plus, you know, I think I mentioned that last week, the homemakers club meets down there, and they would rather meet there than downstairs.
I was gonna say, how much do we charge for the little house? It'd be the
Same thing.
Be the same thing,
Yeah.
okay. That's why I'm asking, because it just says City Hall.
Yeah. And you know, the board can do what you wanna do on this. I've thought about this, and I can remember when we started charging 25, and that was more or less to see that we got everything cleaned up and it's not, they would have to pay 25 is what it originally was. And I know at one point in time they got their $25 back, and then it evolved around to the town keeping the 25. And so, you know, it's just my opinion, but looking at it from that standpoint, if all we're interested in doing is seeing that whoever uses it cleans it up, I think $50 may be a little steep. And it sounds like the town's trying to use it for revenue to make money, and I don't think that's our intention. I mean, that's just my opinion. So that's what I feel. I thought I'd throw that out there, and, you know, it's up to the board.
How much are we paying somebody to clean City Hall now? Or all the workers?
Yeah,
All the workers?
yeah, maintenance and follow. Well, and Megan and Cindy, I think do some too.
But my daughter-in-law's family has got a room in the Churchill Shopping Center, and they're so anywhere from $250 to $375. So I don't think $50 is too much.
Well, I mean, okay, is that a place that's like doing it to actually make money off of their place, their profit?
Well, if they go down and try that stuff, then $50 ain't gonna cover it.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
we've not had too much problem with that, but you never know.
Putting there for one thing, that's $50.
Well, I think somebody tears something up, I think we probably would, you know, try to get that addressed. I mean, I don't think we'd just eat something like that, of course, you know, all these years, I think it was just mentioned, someone just mentioned that we never had, I don't think, an issue. I can remember, when Ples would tell us that he had to clean something up, that somebody didn't clean up, but that's really not been a problem to me. That's just my opinion about it.
Yeah, I think
Is
$50
that-
is fair.
I'll go with 50.
Okay.
You make the motion? We'll make a motion.
We want,
Would y'all consider possibly 50 for anybody outside the city limits, but if they're a resident, do 25, give them a break for being a taxpayer, the city taxpayer? Would you consider that? If they can prove they're a resident, or show an ID, would that be difficult for you? Yeah, it would, but
That's, I'm happy to do that.
to me, I think that's, to me, of course, from what I told you before, I think that's better.
That's what y'all want then.
I mean, I'm just throwing that out there.
I think it's a good idea.
I think citizens, for their paying taxes
Yeah.
that are increasing, maybe needs a break.
Yeah.
Then I'll make the motion, 25 for city residents, 50 for outside city. How's that?
I'll second.
Okay. Got a motion and a second on, $25 for city residents, 50 for outside. Okay, roll call vote.
Alderman Bishop,
Aye.
Alderman Collier, Mayor Graham,
Yes.
Alderman Holmes,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Dornan,
Aye.
Alderman Merrick. Yes.
Okay. Consider increasing, well, no, we just did that, sorry. Consider appointing Judge Mark Skelton as city court judge.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that.
Make the motion. So motion by Randy, second by Warren. Roll call vote, Nate.
Alderman Merrick. Yes. Vice Mayor Dornan,
Aye.
Alderman Holmes,
Aye.
Mayor Graham,
Yes.
Alderman Collier,
Aye.
Alderman Bishop.
Aye.
Okay. Okay, consider authorizing Police Chief James Hammonds to negotiate the purchasing sale of 113 Hendrick Street. And that's the property next to Nathan's property. And James has an ongoing, conversation with Tim Blizzard, who owns the property. And this will be authorizing James to continue his negotiations with Tim. Which I think you've talked to Tim, and he's okay with waiting.
Yeah, I think we've got it worked out. We're just gonna hold out a couple of months to get us into
Yes,
the
yes.
physical year.
Need a motion and a second to approve James negotiating.
I saw him.
Have a motion from Bob, second from Randy. So we'll do a voice vote. Everybody in favor of authorizing James to do this, do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Consider authorizing Recorder Megan Gentry to negotiate the state of Tennessee contract for fiscal year 2021 for Canon printer for City Hall. And we discussed this at the workshop, and I think presently we're doing a business in Rogersville who allowed it. So, and Megan has found some good prices with the state of Tennessee.
Who's going out of business?
Bob.
Well,
Yeah. I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Motion from Warren, second by Bailey, and we'll do another voice. Voice.
Roll call.
I'm sorry, roll call, right? Sorry, my word, boy, that's confusing.
Alderman Bishop,
Yes.
Alderman Collier,
Aye.
Mayor Graham,
Yes.
Alderman Holmes,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Dornan,
Aye.
Alderman Merrick. Yes.
Okay. Consider temporary, non-exclusive, revocable license to use town-owned property to conduct a commercial event and hold harmless agreement. Okay, see, is there a copy of that, I think, Megan, in her?
Yes.
Yeah, if you wanna look at it.
It's about 5 pages long, and Joe maybe can help us if there's any areas where you have questions. This is a form that he assisted, or actually he created.
That's what did you tell me about a while ago, you told me something about the county, the sewer county,
We've got a meeting tomorrow with the sewer people over the, install on their, meter that they put in
up here.
at the, school.
Okay.
Make a motion. To go with that agreement.
I'll second
Okay, we're voting on the form, right?
Yes.
We got a motion from Warren,
I done a second.
second from Tim, and we'll do a voice vote. Everybody in favor of approving this form, just so to say aye. Okay. Okay, now the next thing is consider the fees for scheduled vendors, events at Riverfront Park. And at the workshops, I think everybody pretty much agreed on the same, fees that we charge for vendors at the Riverfront, which is $25 per vendor, if they don't need electricity, and it's just simply for the spot, and then $45 if they use electricity. So we're talking about 25 and 45 for the spaces, which, the people organizing the event, would have to, would be responsible for collecting this, or they maybe can pay it through the town here for the spots. But anyway, however we do that, that would be the fees, and that's what we need a motion and a second on, is for these fees. Unless, we want to discuss it and maybe change that, but that's what we do.
Now, is this like for the third party using?
Yeah, this is for somebody using it to make money.
Okay.
Right, so when we have like the vendor fair, what's her name that runs that?
Tracy.
So is it $25 for her as a vendor, or is it 25 and 45 per vendor at her fair?
Per vendor, that's
Okay.
right. Yes, per vendor. And if they use electricity, it's $45.
Okay.
Can we make that, I don't wanna, I want them to pay us directly and not a third party out of the town's money.
Yeah, we can.
It would be a fee that the person sponsoring the event
Would collect.
pays
Okay,
to the town. That's the way the agreement reads.
okay.
They would pay, this fee depending on how many vendors they have, what they do.
Alright, so that'd be up to the vendor, there who's over this.
The sponsor. The person that's signing this agreement to authorize the use of public space.
Right. And the fees.
We do need to find out, have a copy of their insurance too, don't we, Joe?
Yes, the agreement, the reason it's 5 pages long is because it covers everything that the board's discussed in this. You can use it for this type of an event. You use it between the hours of so-and-so on this day until so-and-so on that day, and no other time. You can't block the boat ramp, you can't block the walking trail or the public restroom. You can charge admission, you can have these concessions, but your fee is based on how many you have.
Okay, do we go on the honor system, or does somebody from the city go down there?
They're gonna have, as President Reagan said, you trust but verify. They say they're gonna have 10 vendors, somebody needs to go out there and make sure there's 10 there, not 15.
Yeah, to see who's using a hookup.
Okay.
I mean, it's easy enough for this.
I think it's better what we got now, that's a
Oh,
start.
yeah.
I mean,
You know, we can always go up on $25 later if we so choose. I mean,
yeah, Tracy, I know that Tracy, they have to show her when she signs the vendors up that they have insurance. That's one thing she demands. So I think that will be taken care of. I'm not concerned about that.
Well, she's gonna have to provide insurance
she's the one.
Yeah, yeah, she does. That's
that
right.
covers the town, where the town's an additional insured, and she has to provide a written, certificate of insurance that shows that there is insurance by a recognized insurance company that names the town as an additional insured. And until they provide that certificate of insurance, they don't have a permit.
Now, by renting it to her like this, does it keep our citizens from using the park,
No.
using the track?
No, the way it reads, I probably should have said something. If
I
you-
would have read it, but I swear I forgot my glasses. I can't even see what.
Now, what it says is that that you have a designated area in which you can bar people that don't pay admission. But you cannot bar the public from, and we're gonna have to put in how many things are gonna be included. The walking trail, the public restrooms, the boat ramp, the swings, maybe. I mean, whatever area, that's gonna depend on a particular event.
I guess my question is also, when it's a weekend event, say she's in it May the 6th and 7th and 5th and 6th, that weekend, is this gonna be per day, like $21 for the Friday
No,
and
it'd
Saturday?
be for the,
For the entire event, not both days, so we're gonna give them 2 days of electricity for $45.
yeah.
But it'd be the same if it was just a 1-day event.
It's the same.
Mr. Mayor, in this agreement or in the city ordinance, do we have a setback for means of egress as far as for emergency vehicles or anything going in this?
That's, I've tried to cover everything. I didn't cover that.
Okay, just wondered. That's coming from the old fireman.
Well, I mean, and that's true. If you have,
If you're gonna have food
park
trucks or
area-
something there, you gotta have means of egress, you gotta have a certain amount of space left for an emergency vehicle to get in and out.
if someone has a heart attack, you wanna be able to have the EMS to be able to get through.
Well, I mean, I go down there when they have these events,
Yeah.
and I don't think that'd be a problem. But I know for the riverfront, we have EMS vehicles sometimes comes down.
Yeah. But what I'm getting at is, if you've got tents set up on each side of that walkway, and that vehicle can't get through there, it's means of egress. You gotta have setbacks.
Well, we need to make it clear, I guess, and I don't know if we can do language, that the walk path is the street,
What-
and that stays open.
What provided in there are blanks, 3 lines to describe what you can have exclusively, and these things you cannot bar the public from.
I think it needs to be a per day price. My thinking being, sometimes you'll go to a vendor event maybe you go on Friday and certain food truck is there, you go Saturday, certain food truck is not there anymore, but somebody else is there, you know? Is it fair to the vendors that are paying another vendor?
Yeah, they pay for one day and
Well,
they'll.
Yeah,
that's
and somebody else is able to get in there because they paid for 10 spots and.
Well, we have the same thing with riverfront.
But
Some
what you're
people stay a day, some
collecting
do
from the
two.
sponsor, the sponsor's the one that's charging the vendors. You're just saying to the sponsor, we're gonna rent you or give you a license to use the public park for 15 concessionaires. And it's up to them what they charge the concessionaires, the vendors.
Would it almost be easier to set a price for, say, 10 vendors, up to 15 vendors, up to 20, and just do it like that? And then have a day rate instead of trying to calculate how many are there per day, who is using electricity? I mean,
It's amazing how many different schemes
yeah.
the federal government has concessionaires in almost all of the federal parks.
Mhm.
And they, each has a different way of calculating how you become a concessionaire
Yeah.
at Yosemite National Park.
Well, you know, I'm gonna say at 25, there would be a minimum probably. In fact, I'm wanting to think, she has around 45 vendors. So you will be collecting $25 on 24 vendors, or 45 vendors, which is, you gotta calculate.
$1,125.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were thinking.
So, and then, of course, it'd be more than that, if you had a few that has electricity, which most people don't, that she has, but, at $25, I think that's, to me, that's quite a bit of money for the weekend. And like I said, the Riverfront Festival, we have several that are there for one day. Their fees the same thing, whether it's a day or 2 days.
They're handy.
And that's, I think at the workshop, that's what we based this on, was what we did at the Riverfront.
That still allows them to have their car shows that they don't charge nothing for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean the cruise in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so well, that will be we'll try to, and I've explained that to everybody involved. We'll try to not butt heads with 2 events like that again. It was a problem the last, but yes, we'll stay away from that.
What did you say the dates was?
Like May the 5th and 6th that weekend.
That'd be a car show one,
Yeah.
It'll be May third.
first Friday of every
No,
month.
May what?
The first weekend in May.
Oh,
is when she's.
that'd be the 3rd and 4th.
Oh, 3rd and 4th, yes, sir.
Be Friday and Saturday, so.
4th and 5th.
The cruise in was May 3rd.
Well, if they do have it, I mean, we won't, she'll have to know that that's what's gonna be going on. Because we don't want to stop the cruising, and we don't want to change it, I don't think. Okay, now, do they go inside the park for the cruising? They do?
Yeah, right inside.
Okay.
It might not make any difference.
It probably helps one or the other, both, probably.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
that-
don't think I would.
No, I don't think so. But, you know, the rest of the time, she needs to stay off.
Yeah, I
First
mean,
Friday,
right.
but, she can't charge them anything out of you either.
No, they won't be none, no, they'll be on their own. Okay. So, we need a motion and a second if everybody's in agreement on the 25 and 45.
Well, I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion from Bob, well,
Let's try that for about 6 months and we'll revisit it and see.
that's fine.
Well, yeah. You know, it'll work out a little bit, then we'll see where we're at.
Let's see, 6 months, that's what will take us through, what, October?
October.
Okay.
That'd be
That's
after,
fine, that's
that'd be
good.
after the process.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll second that with that amendment.
Okay. Is that okay with you, Bob?
Yeah.
Okay, motion, for these fees, for 6 months. And then we'll revisit. Okay. I got a motion and a second, roll call votes. Thank you.
Alderman Bishop,
Aye.
Alderman Collier,
Yes.
Mayor Green,
Yes.
Alderman Holmes, Vice Mayor Gurney, Alderman Merritt. Yes.
Okay, that passes. Now, one other event, we have the Booster Club, we will be having an event on May the 11th. This is the Middle School Boosters Club, right, May?
Yes.
Okay, and they're just simply trying to make money, and I don't think what we just voted on should cover them even, and they do want to borrow our extension cord that we use for the blow up. They're gonna have one blow up, and it'll cost the town money, but, this is what we're about this. The Boosters Club don't have any money. I mean, I don't think they have a bank account where they have money. They may, I don't know. But this would be, probably $4 to $5 for them, and I just don't think, I can see the people who's working and doing the Boosters Club forking over the money for this $4 to $5. And I think as maybe a donation to help them, the town can eat the money that it would cost for the blow up. I feel like for that,
Booster
So the
Club,
Boosters
I thought
Club,
we
I don't
discussed
have a
that.
problem.
they're nonprofit.
Yeah.
right,
Charging.
right.
We already discussed this.
Okay. 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 So you can call, Teresa.
Okay, and is everybody okay with her filling out this form? Of course, it'll be, it's the very last 2 sheets. It'll, of course, the liability insurance will be waived. And, I mean, there's parts on there that's not gonna apply, but it's everybody in
Well, the school's insurance covered that for one, Joe.
Well, even our insurance would cover it. I mean, if the schools don't, wouldn't it?
Well, I don't see the school's insurance covering the Booster Club. When you're just like, you know, the volunteer high school band,
Yeah, they're not really.
you know,
Yeah. If there's something extracurricular for the school itself, I'd say that, but as far as this,
The Boosters Club's a group of parents working to make a little bit of money, to buy a pair of tennis shoes or something is what it is.
I've done that many times.
I have to, yes, probably most people here. Okay, so there's nothing here to really vote on, right?
like Randy said, you know, educational, charitable, civic organizations are in one basket, and people that are running commercial enterprises are in different basket.
But they still need to.
Yeah,
fill out
I
the
think the
last
only
page.
thing really fair up there was the,
They still need to fill out the form,
The
on the
money.
last two pages of the packet, just saying that they're gonna be there and who they are and what they're doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
your form,
Yeah, it's charitable.
that's the thing that Pat provided us.
Yeah, that's way.